Hi students, this is K. Mujakar, lecturer in commerce. In today's video, we can discuss about classification of banks in India and its recent mergers in banks. Before going to discuss this video, till now who have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel and share to your friends. Due to sharing, your friends may also get benefited. Okay, here Reserve Bank of India. Here Reserve Bank of India may give the guidelines to the commercial banks, and all the commercial banks in India should follow the rules and regulations of the RBI. Here the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, that is second schedule of 1934, provides the statutory basis of the functioning of the bank. It commenced its operations on April 1st, 1935, and also it got its nationalization with effect from 1st January 1949, that is Transfer to Public Ownership Act 1948. The present RBI governor is Shakti Kanta Das. Here, the structure of RBI. Here, the structure of RBI is majorly classified into scheduled banks and non-scheduled banks. Here, scheduled banks has been further classified into nationalized banks, development banks, regional rural banks, foreign banks, and private banks, and non-scheduled banks has been further classified into cooperative banks. Here, how we can say it is scheduled bank and how we can say it is an non-scheduled bank. Here we can discuss. Here, scheduled banks means nothing but its paid up capital, it should not be less than 5 lakhs. These are eligible for inclusion in the second schedule to the RBI Act 1934. See here, scheduled banks, its paid up capital, it should not be less than 5 lakhs. So then only if there is an less than 5 lakhs, then we can consider it these banks are non-scheduled banks. When its minimum paid up capital, it should not be less than 5 lakhs. It means it should be minimum 5 lakhs and it can be more also. So its paid up capital, when there is a minimum 5 lakhs, then automatically we can consider these banks are scheduled banks, and these are eligible for inclusion in the second schedule to the RBI Act 1934. I have explained that the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 means nothing but the second schedule of 1934. Means here also the banks which has its capital minimum 5 lakhs, then automatically these scheduled banks are eligible for inclusion in the second schedule to the RBI Act 1934. You can see here. What are the scheduled banks? State Bank of India, nationalized banks, regional rural banks, foreign banks, as well as commercial banks. Then non-scheduled banks means here non-scheduled banks are the banks which its paid up capital will be less than 5 lakhs. Then it can be considered as non-scheduled banks, and these non-scheduled banks are not included in the second schedule of the RBI Act 1934. Here scheduled banks are the banks which follow its rules and regulations of the RBI, but non-scheduled banks doesn't follow any rules and regulations of the Reserve Bank of India. Here non-scheduled banks also known as local banks. It has been classified again into three categories, that is district cooperative banks, state cooperative banks, and central cooperative banks. Okay, here in 1969 the 14 banks were nationalized. We know that in 1969 the 14 banks were nationalized. In 1980 6 more banks were get nationalized. Then automatically there were 20 nationalized banks. Yes or no? In 1969 the 14 banks were get nationalized. In 1980 6 more banks were get nationalized. But in the year the government what it had been done means the new Bank of India and Punjab National Bank was merged. The new Bank of India and the Punjab National Banks was merged by the government. This was the only merger between the nationalized banks. Here, the merger happened. No, this merger happened only between the nationalized banks at the year 1933. Here, the new Bank of India got merged into the Punjab National Banks after the number of nationalized banks reduced from 20 to 19. Yes or no? Before there were 20 nationalized banks. After this new Bank of India, which has merged into the Punjab National Bank, its nationalized banks reduced from 20 banks to 19 banks. At present, there were 12 public sector banks. My dear student friends, remind that at present, which was the mergers happened in the year 2020 of between many public sector banks or between these nationalized banks. At present there were 12 public sector banks. You may get the questions in SBI clerks or any bank level exams. What is the current public sector banks in India means, then automatically you can show the 12 public sector banks also, as well as in set or net level exams also many times asked this. In 1969 how many banks were merged, in 1980 how many banks were merged, and in 1993 which bank was merged into the Punjab National Bank, or between which banks the mergers has been taken place. Like this, the many questions will be asked to you. List of public sector banks. Now itself I have said no. There were 12 public sector banks. No. Here one is State Bank of India. State Bank of India. We know that the State Bank of India also merged it with its subsidiary banks in the year 2017. Then remaining mergers happened in the year 2020. What are they? Here the Punjab National Bank merged it with the Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India. See here, the Punjab National Bank got merged with Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India. Another thing, my dear student friends, later on, the only Punjab National Bank name will be remained. The Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India may get dissolved. Only for some days only it has been continuing with three names, that is Punjab National Bank and with the OBC and UBI in the down. Later on, finally after few days, there won't be any names, that is OBC and UBI. There will be only PNB only, that is Punjab National Bank. Next, Bank of Baroda has been merged with Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank. Bank of Baroda has been merged with Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank, and Union Bank of India merged with Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank. Then another public sector bank is Bank of India. Next, Indian Bank got merged with Allahabad Bank. See here, SBI, Punjab National Bank is merged with Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India. Then Bank of Baroda got its merged with Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank. Union Bank of India merged with Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank. Then another public sector bank is Bank of India, and Indian Bank got merged with Allahabad Bank. Next, remaining public sector banks are Central Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Punjab and Sindh Bank, and Canara Bank and Canara Bank. These were the 12 public sector banks, and the remaining banks got merged into the other banks. Next, I have said no in previous. State Bank of India got merged. This mergers also has been done. At present, the State Bank of India is the number one public sector bank. How the status of number one got it means, these all subsidiary banks has got merged into the State Bank of India. So after merging these subsidiaries automatically it got its ranking status in public sector banks is number one status. At present, the number one public sector bank is State Bank of India, and in rankings in private sector bank is ICICI banks. How it happened means the State Bank of Hyderabad or remaining subsidiary banks has its particular assets and liabilities or remaining. All these assets are got merged into the State Bank of India. So its assets and liabilities of State Bank of India has been increased when compared to the other public sector banks. So automatically it got its ranking statements into number one ranking in number one ranking. Here State Bank of India has been established in the year 1959. Another thing here, due to all these mergers, whether in public sector banks or between the commercial banks, what is the major demerit is the employment opportunities will be reduced due to these mergers. Even though it can got its ranking status number one, but the banking charges or employment opportunities or whatever it may be, the banking charges may be heightened and maybe get increased or hike. This type of employment opportunities to these people automatically may gets reduced due to this mergers between banks. Here State Bank of India got its merger between subsidiaries like State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur, State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Travancore, State Bank of Patiala, State Bank of Indore, State Bank of Saurashtra. See here, State Bank of India merged with its associate banks in the year 2017. In 2017. Next, the private sector banks. The private sector banks, the number one ranking bank is ICICI Bank, means nothing but Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India, established in the year 1955. Before ICICI Bank, which has started in 1955, it is an development bank. Later on, it has been given chance to the various products. Now it functioning as an commercial bank. It is functioning as an commercial bank. Here the following private sector banks are ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, City Union Bank, Federal Bank, IndusInd Bank. RBL Bank means nothing but Ratnakar Bank Limited, Karur Vaishya Bank, and other private sector banks like Kotak Mahindra Bank, it merged between ING Vaishya Bank, Yes Bank, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, FinCare Small Finance Banks. My dear student friends, there may be a lot of private sector banks. I have given only the few names here, which is a major ranking, which has been major ranking or which is questioning in the exams. Next, financial institutions. Financial institutions means nothing but the development banks. All these private sector banks or nationalized banks or public sector banks are comes under this scheduled banks only. Here the following financial institutions like IDABI means Industrial Development Bank of India. Next, IFCI, Industrial Financial Corporation of India. Next, Exim Bank means Export Import Banks. Next, NABARD means National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development, which it gives loans to the rural development people, means for the agriculture people, or it gives to the agriculture loans or for the purpose of the rural development. These banks has been established like IDBI or IFCI. IDBI it gives the loans to the industries or for other small scale industries or large scale industries or whatever it may be. All these financial institutions like IDBI, IFCI, Exim Bank, NABARD, UTI means Unit Trust of India. Act 1963. It has been introduced for the small scale investors in order to mobilize their savings. The UTI has established, and NHB, National Housing Bank, and also LIC and GIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, and General Insurance Corporation of India. My dear student friends, remember that eh, between these differences, LIC, we know that it gives loans to the, or it gives insurance to the human life. GIC gives insurance or provides insurance to the non human life. But the most of the income, generated from GIC only. Why? Because the every vehicles or non-human things, like whatever it may be, there has been insurance to them. But there is human being, but particularly like our human beings have only, some people may have insurance and some people may doesn't have insurance, even though insurance is necessary to us, but not we are not opting that life insurance. Okay. But when comes to here this topic, the general insurance of corporation has more income, it generates more income when compared to the LIC. Here, IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, IFCI, is the first development financial institution established in the year 1948. Then IDBI 1956, like this. NABARD 1982, NHB, LIC, and GIC in the year 1956. 1956. My dear student friends, this according to the each and every financial institution like IDBI, IFCI, I'll explain in depth each financial institution, what are its objectives, and what its main aim, why it has been established by the government of India, why and what are the major loans it has been given to the industries or small scale industries, or for the purpose of the rural development. We can discuss in further videos. But according to this such classification, which is under the scheduled banks, I am just explaining. These are the major financial institutions, and other institutions like Small Industries Development Bank of India, STCI, and IIBI. And now itself I have said no, there are many financial institutions or there are many private sector banks. I am just giving the major part in order to understand you what are the development banks and what are the private sector banks and what are the public sector banks. Next, the list of foreign banks like HSBC Bank, Bank of America, Standard Chartered Bank, and JP Morgan. JP Morgan. Next, list of NBFC. Here, what is meant by NBFC means non-banking financial companies. Here, what is the major difference between banking and non-banking means the banking side field which gives, it means which it accepts its deposits and lends and also gives its loans. But when coming to the NBFC, it won't accept any deposit, it gives only loans to their customers. Here, the major list of non-banking financial companies are IIFL Finance Limited, that is India Infoline, Bajaj Finance Limited, Muthoot Finance Limited, Sriram Chits, Manapuram Finance Limited, Fed Bank, means it is the federal bank. It is the next major part is, that is it has been functioning also, and non-banking also, that is Fed Bank, HDB Finance Limited, Five Star Limited, Vistar, and Chola Finance. These are the major these are the major banks. These are the major non-banking financial companies. Thanks for watching.